Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. So for this hour's session, I'll be reviewing the final exam format briefing for the subject English for Academic Enrichment, UCS 1353. So at present, there are two parts of the examination. So the first part is part A and there is a part B. And these two parts are divisible by part A comprises of multiple choice question, also known as MCQ or ABCDs, right? So there are 25 questions and you need to answer all questions for part A. And for part A alone, the topics that will be covered is the ones that we cover from the early of the semester, which is reading comprehension, followed by topic of making inference, still under the topic of reading, as well as the modal verbs. Okay, so the questions are all going to be under these three topics only: reading, making inference, as well as the modal verbs. Okay, so now let's get on to the part B. So for hold on, the part A tips, generally you just have to read the question first, for the reading passage. Basically, read the question. Some people would actually prefer to read the question first before answering. So like you read the whole part A first or the passage, then highlight the answers. And after highlighting, then you choose or you finalize the answer. For questions that you probably don't know, well, I did that too. I usually would either choose between B or C. I don't know, it's my preference. I don't know about you, but if there's a questions that I really don't know the answer to, I will just try B or C. But most of the time, well, you go by the process of elimination. If you felt that the answer A may not be possible, then cross it out. Like B is not possible, cross it out. So after you eliminate all the impossible answers, the one that is left is the answer that you should be choosing for the multiple choice questions. Okay, it could get a little bit tricky, so always refer to the reading passage, or for grammar questions, you must know and understand the question, then answer, know the tenses too. Okay, so moving on to part B. So in part B, there are a total of 5 questions. Each of the questions actually has 25 marks. Okay, that's a lot, 25 marks. And for these 25 marks, 5 questions, you have 3 full hours throughout. So you choose only 3 questions to answer. Each of the questions that you answer will contribute to 25 marks. So 25 times 3, that's 75, plus multiple choice question just now, 25, so that's 100. So only answer 3 questions. Just answer 3. And because everyone in MSU, basically, this is a subject that is taken by the whole university, the grading will be syndicated. So this means that this semester I will be grading other lecturers' classes and classes paper. This is to ensure fairness and also, well, equality, okay, to everyone's taking the subject. Okay, and hence, I will advise everyone to only choose 3 questions to answer. Make it your choice. Choose 3 answers. Okay, choose to answer only 3 questions. And if, let's just say, you have 5 questions, but you have plentiful of time left, like you could answer all of the questions, you could do it, but depending on the examiner that you get, if the examiner's style is only the first 3 questions will be graded, you are looking at that examiner. So for me, if you don't choose, my choice is 1, 2, 3. Simple. If you don't want to choose, it will be 1, 2, 3. So we let you choose. Please choose. Okay, so choose the topics or the answers or the essays or any on the part B questions that you wanted to answer. If you cannot choose, 1, 2, 3, that's your choice. Okay, so coming back to the topics that will be covered. So for the multiple choice question, the part ones just now, there are 3 topics covered. While for the topic of that will be covered for part 3 is the first one is at the sentence level. Remember during the first week of the semester, I informed you that this class will be about writing, 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 and writing. So we go by sentence, paragraph, short essay, and long essays. So that this is the first one. For paraphrasing, the tips is to firstly read the original sentence and then remember that from the original sentence, identify the type of skills of paraphrasing that you need to use. Is it synonym? Okay, or change the synonym. Do you need to change the word order? Do you need to change from noun to verb or the verb into nouns? Do you need to change from active sentence to passive sentence? Or do you need to change from adjective to adverb? Or do you even need to change the word from the clustering of the group? Or even if, let's say, the original sentence does not have any of the skills stated, you can just like combine the sentence or just use whichever style that you prefer. Okay, let's have a quick pause. Okay, so after you have identified the type of skills, or if the skill is not mentioned, you can use a combination of multiple paraphrasing skills, or as I taught you before, it's the freestyle paraphrasing. However you paraphrase it, it's good as long as the sentence is paraphrased. So paraphrase means to rewrite. Okay, so next tips is on reading, where there is the topic of non-linear text. So for the topic of non-linear text, we remember them to be images of mind map, okay, or table, or bar graph, or pie chart, or line graph. So these are the non-linear text that is available. There is even brainstorming for mind mapping. So for the nonlinear text, you need to be able to fill in the empty boxes. If it so happens that you get a nonlinear text that requires calculation, such as percentage, then you need to calculate. You need to calculate the value and put it into the table or the charts that is given. If it is a mind map, then read the passage and also read the question, then find the answers. Their nonlinear text should be simplified and should be in the form of imagery. Just like when we see the pie chart or bar graph, it's simple and not in the form of a long passage. So find short answers only find the main points or the main ideas or the main examples. So in total, there are 25 short answers. So 25 is a lot, okay? And if we were to put it under A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and it even extended from the alphabet. So make sure that you check the right alphabet to the right answers. And it is unfortunate because sometimes when we mislook or student mislook the number, this should have been the answer for question K, but it is put under question L or M or N. So check the numbering correctly before you answer the question. So careful not to accidentally answer wrongly, because even if you miss out on one space, then the rest of it will go wrong. Okay, so numbering is really essential for this type of questions. So check your answers for that. Okay, next topic from the semester is the summary. I hope you still remember that I asked you to write a summary of a summary. Sorry, a summary of how to write a good summary. So basically, for the original reading passage, read them first and read it again. If you need to read it for the third time, go ahead. No one's stopping you. Read until you understood the content, identify the points, highlight about like 15, 10 to 15 sentences should be good enough. Okay, so highlight them all. Then paraphrase the sentence. Remember the paraphrasing skills that you can use to shorten the sentence. So combine the sentence, change the noun into verb. Okay, simplify, use a clustering, use synonym, okay, group words together. Okay, and after you paraphrase the sentences, combine them into one paragraph, only one paragraph for a summary. If you write more than one paragraph, there will be score reduction. And the format for a summary is, I'm sorry, the format for a summary is just one paragraph and the scoring is 5. So if let's say you accidentally write 2 paragraphs, minus 1. You write it in 3 paragraphs, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So 1 paragraph only. Okay, so remember to not exceed the word limit and also only write in 1 paragraph. The word limit actually depends on the question. It would either be 100, 110, 120, or 130. It really depends on the question set. If it is 100, then your limit is 100. If it's 130, then we have a little bit more to write on. Okay, so that is for the topic of summary. Moving on to the topic of essay. So the next writing skills, which is on essay writing that is opinion based. So this type of questions for essay is actually very commonly tested. Okay, and the word limit that is given is 250. So pretty much each of the paragraph, you have to write 5 paragraphs of essay. Each of the paragraphs about 50 words. So if let's say one sentence is about 10 words, then essentially one sentence is equated to 1 mark. Pretty much. So if you write more sentences, we can actually give you a discretion in a way that perhaps the first sentence has more errors than the second sentence. So we will choose second sentence to give you a grade. But if you only write 2 to 3 sentences and that is it, then that is it that will be graded. So you could basically think of it this way. For introduction, you should have about 6 to 7 sentences, inclusive of the thesis statement. While for the body paragraph and the supporting details, you can have the topic sentence at 5 to 6 sentences, followed by the conclusion. And for the conclusion part, you may write up to 4 to 5 sentences. So 5 paragraphs, once again, introduction, body paragraph 1, 2, 3, and also the conclusion. Okay, following the first type of essay, there is also the non-linear based essay. We should be a pro at this by now because we have already completed the project. We are the ones where you send out questionnaire and then you get the non-linear text, the pie chart, the bar graph. So this is the time to shine. Okay. Okay, so basically you observe the type of nonlinear that is given. So you could probably get a table, a bar, a pie, or even a mind map. Okay, so whichever type of non-linear that is given. Okay, so just make sure that you check on the percentage, check on the calculation, see if there is a value that increases or decreases, or the value is at a standstill. or if there are movement of time, okay, and basically check the value and understand what the nonlinear is all about. And following that, you also have to write the report in 5 paragraphs. If for the previous project that you do, you write the background of the study and then the graphic and also the conclusion of the project, shorten it into a non-linear essay where you have the introduction. So check the title of the graphic and also basically probably paraphrase the question and do an observation of what you can report, all of the values into the 3 body paragraphs. So you can cluster them into highest value, middle value, lowest value, or you can make comparison between highest, lowest, middle, or you can go by lowest to highest to lowest. Okay, so up to your style in writing of the report. And lastly, conclusion. Just to be careful not to add any additional value that is irrelevant to the pie chart. If the pie chart already has 100%, don't go adding another 20%. So it's 120%. Does not exist, right? So be sure that you do not accidentally add on any irrelevant values or personal opinion about the issue that is given or stated that is irrelevant to the content. You can make an educated guess. You can make an educated guess based on the findings or based on the charts that is given, but you cannot simply give away opinion that is unsupported into your essay. So what you see is what you report. It's very straightforward and direct. Right, and also I did mention that this examination will be graded syndicatedly by the lecturers teaching the subject. So the general rule is, I'd say for essay question, do not copy from the internet. It is very obvious. Okay, and also recently our e-class is already linked to Tenitin software. So we can just, I mean, when the answer is submitted, it will be graded by Tenitin and to check the similarity percentage. So if found guilty, then there's going to be like 0 marks for the whole question, like 25, 0, because if it is copied and pasted from the internet, then there is no added value that is given by the students. So it's not like I'm teaching Google, or it's not like I'm teaching the authors on the internet. I'm teaching you. So I hope that I'll be reading essays that is written by you. And I'd like for students to showcase your writing ability. You've learned with me this semester how to write the paraphrasing. You've learned about summary. You've learned about non-linear essay. We have even write together using Google Docs. We've even write together using Google Docs to compose an essay. So I hope that you will showcase that ability into your writing. So don't go around showing me your internet searching ability, because I'm good too. All right. So don't get caught. Don't try to find answers on the internet. And it's better if you use this time around to showcase your ability to write. Show to me what you have learned this semester, and that would be something that I would really appreciate from everyone. Okay, so that would be on the general rules. And I suppose that is all for the briefing for the format of the exams. So just a quick recap. Part A, is the multiple choice question, and then part B is basically the essay parts, and each of them has different styles in answering. So just be sure that you answer in the space that is given. Answer on the space that's given, and to remember that do not click the word submit until the exam is over. Do not. Okay, or if you have confirmed that you already answer all of the questions, then click submit. Don't click the word submit early. Okay, don't even touch that button. Don't go near that button. It is forbidden to go near that button. Too many cases of students accidentally clicking submit all before finishing the exams. And it will take some time for the system to reset. So avoid the word submit until you have answered all of the parts. Just move from tab to tab. You can try to do the practice of best from eClass and try to log in at least 30 minutes earlier if possible due to the traffic. There are over 500 students taking the subject this semester. So try to log in as early as you can. And if there's any issues on the day of the examination, you can communicate directly to the exam officers, or for my class, communicate with me, and then I'll communicate with the exam officer. Okay, I'll be on standby on the day. However, if it so happen that I am also invigilating on the same day, then you have to communicate directly with the exam officers. And to type your to type your answer in the box provided, move through the tab for part A and part B. Remember to not click on the submit and don't leave your cursor to be idle for too long, because the class system will automatically log out like you were idle for too long. And just casually or just regularly touch your mouse or the touchpad or the screen, even when you are not typing out your answers. So just like make sure that you are not idle. And for the issues, no matter what happened, just communicate. Okay, don't panic, chill. Okay, inform the officers, inform me. And as I have trained everyone this semester, if you want to communicate name, student ID, issue straight away. Do not miss ... And then I will reply, what's going on? I wanted to tell you something. What is it? Too long. Okay, ain't nobody got time for that. So you want that lah. Just try to be as fast as you can, because the examination is only 3 hours. Macam tak sempat lah kan. So directly mention your name, your ID, and also the issues. So to make things even easier, screenshot, okay, or your smartphone. Use proper device to answer the examination. Then show what is going on, right? So that will be it for the briefing for the examinations. I hope that you have learned something from the session today, and thank you very much for listening.